two collegiate wrestlers. They have competed against each other before. Jacob Howarth taking my place in this match. I had to withdraw from an injury against Evan Rosborough. The last match Jacob took in the ADCC Open in Chicago, but I'm sure Evan's looking to get that one back. There were a lot of high intensity scrambles early on in the match, and in the points period, Jake was able to win with a double leg takedown.
Looks like a pretty big weight discrepancy too, if those are a 30-pound difference.
Yeah, that's why I was a little confused when Evan called me out for the match when they were asking for an opponent for me, because I'm 190 pounds, so I'm even like lighter, but good up-and-coming guy in the scene, has a ton of wrestling experience, only been in jiu-jitsu for 6 years, so he's just trying to compete against the toughest guys in the area he can.
Okay.
And Evan, he does well in competition. He won in the Masters 1 division, Nogi Worlds and Nogi Pans last year. So
that's impressive.
Yeah, got some good wins under his belt. And with the next match announcement, we have Jazz Sakuro.
All right, Jiu-Jitsu fans, here we go. We're scheduled for 9 minutes at 230 pounds. Making his way to the red corner, representing Roots Jiu-Jitsu, fighting out of Westerville, Ohio, introducing Jacob Howarth. And now his opponent, making his way to the blue corner, representing Academy 440, fighting out of Paynesville, Ohio, presenting Evan Rosborough.
Some big dudes here. You think we'll see something on the feet?
Maybe. I mean, Jacob's got a good leg lock game as well, and I think, in a 9-minute match, he probably doesn't want to spend that entire time wrestling, especially being closer. But Evan, not shying away from the guard passing. He is playing a little conservatively off his knees. Jake looking to create off balances and get underneath them, but Evan's doing a good job keeping his body in the way there. Jake being a little more strategic, not, succumbing to the, urge to prove he's a better wrestler. And Evan doing a good job controlling the space there. In. Jake gets in on the foot. Evan able to separate, but Jake taking top position.
Yeah, that's an efficient way to come up on a guy that's bigger than you and a better wrestler potentially, or at least a tough wrestler, is you pull guard and you sweep. Yeah. Oftentimes just path of least resistance.
And ahead of this match, Jake is someone that I train with pretty regularly, so pardon if I'm a little bit biased in the commentary, but this is something we were working on, is using the legs to really threaten Evan. And I think Evan's aware that Jake has dangerous leg locks, so he's going to respect him and be willing to give up position for the sake of staying in the match.
Same thing. Yeah.
Really tight chest position here. Jake might pass off of this.
Yeah. Yeah, and even the way Evan had to burst there a little bit, that can add up over the course of the match.
Yeah, he's definitely one making the bigger adjustments, having to react to Jake, and Jake's constantly threatening going under and using these heisting motions to try to force Evan to push back in, and that's going to open up more leg attacks for Jake.
Yeah, I hear the corner saying heist, heist. They're really pushing that. I think the first guy, at least the first guy I saw use that a lot was Gordon Ryan back in I'm thinking of 2017 ADCC, just constantly hip heisting, and you don't even have to come up, but it just gives you the threat if you want to.
Yeah, the threat's great because it creates that reaction and allows you to get under. And now Evan with an okay looking pass attempt, but Jake able to get his legs back to the inside. Yeah, a lot of those people in New Wave are really good at that. Giancarlo Bedoni, probably one of the best, at that dilemma of hip heisting into the legs. In the competition scene right now.
Yeah.
And obviously, a lot of people take kind of inspiration from New Wave and the people on their team for
sure.
Where the sport goes.
Yeah, and if you're on top and someone's doing that, it's just it's an extra thing you have to worry about. It sort of makes it more three-dimensional, if you will.
I like this adjustment that Evans made, really camping and putting heavy pressure without putting himself too high.
Blue. But the judges
are favoring blue, which is a little surprising, honestly.
It is. Yeah.
With the third wrestle up from Jake,
yeah.
Obviously he's conceding top position and pulling guard, but so far he's been the one to dictate most of the action of the match.
Yeah.
Using this body lock passing, trying to get past the feet. Jake doing a great job listening to his corner's input. Row drag, looking for an exposure, nearly passes.
I know. Evan's he moves pretty good for someone that big, in those situations.
Yeah, for sure.
Those near pass situations, he finds a way to spin out of it.
Yeah, he just doesn't accept it. The second he's, potentially getting past, he's, wrestling up and creating a scramble, which is what he needs to do here.
Yep. Crossface there by
Crossface is good. The butterfly hook does a little bit for Jake to help elevate, and he's going to look for that single leg. A little bit too much space to finish it. He's going to have to suck himself back under him to get a look at that leg lock, but he opts for the pass. I'd like to see Jake get a little bit tighter chest to chest on these, because at the moment he's passing with a little too much space. His head's a little too far away, and that's giving Evan the space he needs to come back up and scramble to neutral. Honestly, smart posting from Evan, too, because he realized the, straight post on the shoulder is what set up that row drag that Jake hit earlier, and he's been, cupping the side of the neck, underhooking the armpit, and those are a little less susceptible to that style of arm drag.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the game planning by Jacob here.
Especially taking it short notice.
Very disciplined with just every time it kind of gets to the feet, he's pulling, getting into the legs, using the legs to sweep, get on top, and then sort of rinse, repeat. It's a good system he's got.
Come on, Ev. Now. You got the strength.
And Evan being a hometown guy, that's going to give him a little bit of an advantage for the audience scoring, I'd have to imagine. So Jake's got to really aggressively look for submissions and make it pretty clear that he's the winner of this match.
That's it. That's it, buddy.
Spinning on her. Oh, armbar.
So close, Evan. So close. Get up, Evan. Look him over now.
Jake's past the knee shield. Up in the head and gets a good chest-to-chest connection.
Yeah.
Evan framing off hard.
Yeah.
And he gets the pass, nearly gets rolled over, but Jake's able to keep his base. And now this is probably the worst place to be with Jake. Evan's able to get to his knees, but being under side control and north-south on Jake is miserable. He will stay there all day. So really impressive for Evan, finding a way to get back on top.
Yeah.
Easy work, Ev. Easy work. You got it, Ev. You got it. You got it, Evan. You got it.
Evan looking for the cradle, maybe. Get the head control.
Jake wrestling up.
That was nice. Real nice.
Evan looking for a guillotine. Jake passes off of the attempt.
Caught that far leg, too, to prevent turning away. Like a Navy ride there.
Get up, Evan.
Beautiful.
Get up.
Now back exposure. Jake's trying to wedge the knee to. Oh, a little bit of a mistake there for Jake trying to throw in the top hook first. Coming up a little bit too high, but still able to keep the position with a body lock. Evan creating separation, looking to get his back to the mat. Andy scrambles out.
Back to that head control. I wonder if he's maybe going to look for a submission here.
It's possible.
Maybe he has a sense that he's down a little bit on the...
He looks like he's trying to separate and get a Darce here, but he's giving Jake his weight, so Jake might be able to use this to off-balance him and sweep.
That was nice, real nice.
Yeah, good look
Spin
at
to
the
the
pass.
back.
Potentially spinning behind, setting up a Darce potentially, and Jake bellies down
At the mount.
Concedes bottom position.
Yeah.
Looking back to go into the arm in guillotine here, but isn't able to lock it up. Solidifies a mount in the process, though.
Oh, triangle.
Evans really pouring on big at the end, and this is what he
Back
needs
on
to
the
do
head,
to win that decision. Decent look at the guillotine, and he
Man.
gets the tap.
Wow.
Avenging his loss from the ADCC Open, Evan wins with a submission.
That was a really exciting match. Wow. Back and forth.
And with the official decision, we have Jazz Sakuro. He's got his hands full with nearly 100-pound weight disadvantage coming in.